What's up, everyone? It's your boy Jermaine back with another San Francisco walking tour. And as of now, we are in Pacific Heights, yo. This is a pretty fine neighborhood, I tell you. We have views of the bay straight ahead. It's a really quiet day. And since the pandemic, what they did was they took certain streets in the city and they made them slow streets. So this here is like a slow street. So technically, people can walk in the middle of the street. You can, ride a bike, push a stroller, ride a scooter in the middle of the street, and it's supposed to be open to local traffic only. And how exactly does that work is like, if you live on this block, you're free to drive on this block. But ideally what they want people to do is they don't want people to just go straight down the street. They just want people to come on this block. And, if you're coming to a place here on this block, then you get on, Clay Street. Otherwise, you just take another street. And then when you get close to your destination, you get over and take, you take Clay Street. I really like these streets because when you're on a bike and you're trying to get halfway across town, these streets can be great because there's just no traffic, Pack Heights. This is a pretty interesting neighborhood. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go all the way down at Polk Street, and I want you guys to notice like how things change, how the neighborhood starts to, switch. Because right now it's really quiet. It's very beautiful. See these 5G towers like every other block, They got good internet. What is this? Is this a library? Is this a library? What kind of books are in here? Out of Control. Jesus and Peter. It's a couple of these. I see another one up here. The same one. Interesting. It's like a little library. And a little bench to sit down and read. You don't see libraries like this in downtown or Soma. I wonder why. So right down below is we got Sacramento Street. Sacramento Street is going to be the street with the buses and shopping. Now on this street, there's no buses on this street. And that's one reason what makes this street really nice. Because if you live on a street with no buses, you're not gonna have the sounds of buses on your street. It's pretty awesome, For the most part, there's a lot of streets in the city that don't have buses. If you don't want to live on a street with buses, just don't live on a main street, Or if you do, and then if you live on a main street, you're gonna have a lot of traffic. This is a park here. I've never ever. This park across the street. I've never ever been here before. But this is obviously one of those rich parks. It's a city-owned park. I would imagine it's very, very nice. Like they probably take really good care of it. I would, go show you guys the park, but maybe I'll save it for another video. It's really, really busy there right now. But that'd probably be a really good video to make. Go to the nice neighborhoods and show the parks. And then go to the rough neighborhoods and show the parks. But I don't know, I've seen it's some pretty nice parks on the TL, Yeah, they might be, they might be a little rowdy every now and then, but there's still some nice parks in the TL. But nothing like here though, come on. I love the slow streets, yeah. This old school building. All right, let's continue to go forward.
Oh, yeah. We had a service here. It was so beautiful.
Oh my gosh, these people are probably like, who is this weird guy filming in our neighborhood? Just look for it on YouTube. Yeah, I was reading some of the comments from another video that I took. I think it was St. Francis neighborhood in the city. People really liked it a lot, so I should make more just like that, you know. You have to make what people like. So many cool houses here. You know, when I'm downtown, I'll usually stop and point things out, you know. But here it's like, I don't know what to stop and point out, you know. I'm not really a style of these too much. I'm not really a fan of these too much, you know. I mean, they're cool, don't get me wrong. But I just like skyscrapers. Or detached houses in the city. That is a really, really cool thing to have a detached house in the city. Because most houses in the city are like this. Like they're right next up on one another, like they're like right next. Oh, these houses are actually technically detached, but that really doesn't, I wouldn't say that's a legit detached house, because it's probably attached to that other building, you know what I mean? You see how there's no spaces in between these? But there's only a few neighborhoods in the city where you can actually have a house and then you have grass like between your house and between the next house. Like, not a lot of neighborhoods in the city are like that. Not a lot of fancy neighborhoods in the city are like that. Now here, you notice once we, this is Divisadero here? No, Presidio. Once we cross Presidio, things start to pick up a little bit. Once we cross Presidio, actually, there's a couple apartment buildings right past Presidio, but these are more like fancy apartment buildings. You get down here and this is like an apartment building here, and these are apartment buildings here. Definitely not as fancy as some of the ones like a couple blocks up. It's a little bit cheaper to live down this way. Once we pass Diviz, you know, prices are very, very different. But when we go back the other way, like 2 blocks, it's a whole lot more quiet, and it's a lot more homes, right? So like here, this is like a duplex, you know, 2 homes, like someone lives on top of you. This is like a duplex, 2 homes, someone lives on top of you. But back there was just all like homes, and like just very, very few apartment buildings. That's a beautiful home there too. That's a big one too. You know what would be ideal in some neighborhoods is because since so many houses are duplexes, in some neighborhoods it would be dope if you could buy both, like the bottom unit and the top unit, and then that way you would have like just one really big house. You know. So this slow streets are so awesome. So we have another park up here, looks like. By the way, these are like small parks. These are not like massive parks, you know. I don't think they have too many parks here because people are like, oh, I want a bigger house. Is that a park or is that a school? Or is that a library? Oh, that's probably a fancy library, yo. I wonder, is the other street the front side and this is the rear side? Yeah, that's definitely a library. Old school building. Huh. Pretty cool green area. It's like a nice park, sort of. All right, let's go. Super quiet. I am filming this on New Year's Day, so I don't expect the library to be open. You know. Wow, look at this beautiful tree. So big. Like covers up the house like completely. I mean, how do you even take a photo of the front of the house? Like if it was for sale, how would you take a photo of the front? Because it's completely covered up. This place is not for sale. Wow, look at this window here. Holy moly, that window is massive. Looks like someone did some donuts over here. So quiet right now. What a great day to go out filming. This is a quiet neighborhood, by the way, but let me tell you something. It's still really quiet because usually like Monday through Friday, you would have a lot of traffic in this neighborhood, like people working, you know, like gardeners, you know, people doing construction work, you know, people remodeling houses. But by it being New Year's Eve, you know, all those people are off work right now. Yeah, that's a massive window in this house. Holy cow. I think that's one of the biggest windows in the city I've seen on a place. There's one in the marina that's like super massive. Now, as we continue walking down Clay Street, we will approach the hospital eventually. There's like a hospital. It takes up like, I think it takes up like a block or 2 blocks or something like that. And we will, you know, we'll check out, we'll just go around the hospital. Oh, this is pretty slow. Huh. It's like not a problem at all. Just cruising straight uphill. It's like a nice sized hill too, yo. This is not a small hill. Like I'm kind of walking down like, walking down the hill.
New Year.
Hello, Happy New Year. Oh, I like these windows. Those look really cool. Oh, look at this house. Classic San Francisco style house. Duplex, you know. You know, the whole narrow and skinny. You got like a long hallway in your freaking house. Yeah, it's such a San Francisco thing. You know, when you have a house like these, or even in a lot of apartments, you know, you have these long hallways. Like even in my building, just from like the front door to the window is like long, you know? I like how they have a Christmas tree here. It feels almost weird to walk in the street when you're approaching stop sign. So here we have it. We have Diviz. And wow, look at this bike. It's not even locked up. It's literally not even locked up at all. This is a fancy neighborhood, not locked up at all, yo. It's a fancy neighborhood. I wonder what happened to it. Like, did someone steal it or something? It's crazy. Just more things you see in San Francisco. Yeah, let's keep going. Maybe they was trying to lock it up. If you come to these nice neighborhoods, you might find you a bike. I like this Christmas tree, yo. A little Christmas tree out here. Merry Christmas, everyone. Big hill. This old school church here on the corner. On the sunny side of the street for a minute. See how the video looks. Don't know if I've ever seen anyone coming out of there. No, up ahead, there's a park. I forget the name of this park. I think it's maybe there'll be a name up here, or I could look at Google Maps. Let's just see if there's a name up. There's a really, really cool park. It has a really different angle of the city. I won't really explore the park too much. It involves a lot of steps. This park is just a really, really, really big hill, by the way. I like that house. Typical old school San Francisco house. I think this is Fort Mason Park or something. No, this is Alta Plaza. Yeah, really quiet. And then once we get closer to Van Ness, we'll see the neighborhood change again. There'll be another shift, you know, because that's a whole different neighborhood once we get down to Polk Street. And then from Polk, maybe I'll probably just end the video there. But we got some time till we get to Polk. Check out this old school church on the corner. For a minute, I thought this was a home. I thought it was a home and someone just put some crosses on top. But no, it's a church. And here we have the steps I was talking about. These are the steps for Alta Plaza. And those are a lot of steps, so that's why I don't want to really go up those steps. And then if we go up those steps, I'd kind of be over in that area, you know? I'd kind of be over there. And I'd have to like cut back and go around. And we already got a detour up ahead this hospital. Who knows? Maybe I could like walk through the hospital. I don't know if there's like a lobby that goes from one side to the other side. So quiet outside today. Happy New Year, everyone, if you're watching this video. Yeah, I was hanging out with Lori and I decided to break away and run away and go make a video. So here we have it. And we've been walking downhill for some time. Okay, thanks. We have Marina to the left, Alamo Square to the right, and Financial District straight ahead. And if you take Clay, I mean, after this detour around the hospital, you can pretty much take Clay all the way into the Financial District, you know. It's a very convenient way to get down there to the Financial District, you know, if you're coming from Pack Heights. There is a bus that goes down Clay, but it goes down Clay on the other side of the park. And then I think after the park, it goes from Clay and it takes another street. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know. I could be wrong on that one. Here we have it. We have the famous Fillmore Street. It's kind of interesting how Fillmore changes so much once you get past Gary. Like it's one way over here, but then when you get to Gary, it's like a whole different. It's completely different, you know. It's a whole different culture of people. You know, it's one thing I noticed about it. We'll take Fillmore to go around just because Fillmore is going to be a little bit more entertaining than taking some of these residential streets. I wonder what was this here. I wonder if some people pass here. I wonder what was this place. This was like a show place. Huh, looks like it's all closed down now. I definitely have to come and make a video on Fillmore Street. I have to start like Fillmore and like, you know, Peck Heights. No, Fillmore and maybe a few blocks up Fillmore from behind, and then go all the way to like Market or something. No, Fillmore doesn't hit Market. Let me take that back. Wow, there's a Starbucks. There's people sitting inside of the Starbucks. That's pretty cool. I noticed some of the Starbucks they let you sit in and some they won't. Ooh, they got gas. I used to pick up from this place all the time on Cabio. All the time I picked up from this place. We have Sacramento and Fillmore Street. And we're gonna make a left here and go up. This is a really cool building right here because of these whole colors, the whole architect. So beautiful how it's like curved too. Everyone has it's not really a balcony, it's a hallway out front. It's not exactly a balcony, you know. But it looks really cool, you know. I'm gonna cross to show you guys these other ones, because these are new modern buildings. These are John F. Kennedy towers. Wow, I didn't know John F. Kennedy had some towers over here. They look old school, like, you know. Oh, this is some Mercy housing. If y'all know about Mercy housing, y'all know they have no mercy. But over here, you got these new modern looking units. These actually look like it's like one whole unit, you know, like you have 3 levels, which is pretty cool. I don't see too many units like this in the city. That's very, very modern looking, very contemporary looking. In 5 years, it'll look super old. But then look at this one. This is pretty cool too. That's one thing I've discovered about, you know, construction projects and all that. Like when you see it before it's built, when you see it and it's a drawing, it looks so freaking cool, yo. You know, before they've built it, it looks so freaking awesome. And then once they build it, it's like, oh yeah, there it is, you know. It's like once it's in front of you, once it's a building that you drive by in front and you can see it, it's like it's lost all of its like wow, because when you saw it on paper, you're just like, oh, that's so cool. And then 2-3 years later, the building's like old, you know. It's one thing I've learned about construction. It gets old really fast, really fast. Kind of like a car, you know. Cars get old fast. Look at this old school building. I want to say this has something to do with that. I think that's like a church, if I'm not mistaken. I'll set that for another video. I don't want to overwhelm this video, but we are here at Sacramento and Webster. And this is the block where the hospital is. If we would have walked up that other block, we would have had to turn here on Webster. Oh, go ahead. No, go. I'll let you go. Thanks. Okay. We'll do. Oh, this building is a library. That's what it looks like though. This is a big hill, by the way. They got me flexing my heels going up this joint. There's the hospital there. It looks so old school. All those letters on the fire escape on the outside. So old school. Like new buildings don't have that. You know, they don't have it exposed, you know, on the outside of the building. I mean, there's definitely a fire escape, but you don't see it from the outside of the building. These old school buildings. Remember back in the day when they used to build these, yo? They used to put the rocks with the concrete and then put it on the side of the building. They don't do it that way no more. How old school that looks. Almost at the top of this hill. We can just take Sacramento. And as you can see, Sacramento is the streets with the buses because it's got all these wires up here. But some streets have buses, but you don't see the wires. Usually you see buses with wires. At least this is just what I've just noticed around the city. Usually you see them where there's big hills, right? And on this street, like going this way, There's a lot of big hills. Now on Gary Street, there's no buses on Gary Street, right? Well, there are buses, but there's no wires on Gary Street. But for the most part, Gary Street's pretty flat, you know? That building looks pretty dope too. Just sitting right there on the corner with all the trees like around it. That's a fly one too. Now, when you're in these nice neighborhoods and you're doing construction, you have to cover your you're supposed to cover your porta potty up. So that's what you see in these boxes here. This is a porta potty on the inside, and they cover it up so like people won't, like homeless people won't go in there, and also it won't be an eyesore to the neighborhood. You know, I did see one further back in this video. I saw one that was just, you know, on the side of the street with no box around, and it was actually in an even nicer neighborhood, you know. I was thinking, oh, they bucking the system over here. We got some Christmas trees. Now in this whole video, we haven't seen any Christmas trees. Look at this building. They got like fake balconies, looks like they have balconies, but I don't see anyone using their balconies, so it makes me, oh, they are using it, never mind. This is another really cool park. I forget the name of this one. Yeah, we'll avoid Clay Street because Clay Street's more hills, and Clay Street would have taken us directly into this park, which would not have been a bad idea, you know. Got some nice views of the city. Anyone need a bike? Wow. Such a beautiful day for New Year's. Starting to see more Christmas trees. I saw a bunch of Christmas trees back on that intersection. It's like 4 or 5 on that corner. This is usually about this time of year you see a lot of Christmas trees come out, like the first of the year. And I'm surprised that we haven't seen many more, you know. Wow, here's a big one here. It's a huge one. Merry Christmas, y'all. Oh, another Christmas tree. Sorry, we're just going up hills. We're going down the next hill, so we're good to go. You gotta love the palm trees, you know, and your fire alarm box. Wow, got me coughing over here. So what do we have here? Otherwise, you know, people would just sleep in there. Like, people would take a slide. And then some of these parklets have, see if they have any vegan pizza. Some of the parklets have, electricity. I don't see any vegan pizzas, no. No, nothing vegan around here. I always walk by here and the pizza smells really, really good. But maybe they could make a vegan pizza. Like if their dough doesn't have egg in it, like most pizza places, they don't put egg in the dough. That could I could get a pizza from there. Royal Liquors. This place looks real classic, y'all. And there's the Baker Hotel. I don't know. I have no stories about that. I just noticed up there it says Baker Hotel. I remember back in the day, and when I say back in the day, I'm talking about just before the pandemic. This place was always lit, y'all, on the weekends. And now it's not really anymore. This here is one of these old school Holiday Inns. And that building right here, it's like an old looking building. But the views that this building has must be pretty epic because, you know, it's like a straight, clear view. It must be pretty epic. Like, towards the top, not even at the top, but like halfway towards the top. I bet there's some pretty dope views up there, yo. Alright, so this is Polk Street. I'm gonna wrap this video up. Thanks a lot for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and peace out, y'all.